Hi, I'm talking about the manga series I'm currently reading, which is Bleach. So I just wanted to talk about the arc that I have completed thus far, which is the Agent of the Shinigami arc. Also, I've seen it called the Substitute arc. So it's the first full arc of the series. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And I'm just going to talk about my experience with it, how I felt while reading it, the thoughts I have, all that kind of stuff. So I chose to read Bleach because it was a completed manga series. And I knew that if I wanted to start a new series, I just wanted it to be completed. I knew there was plenty out there. So I was like, okay, I'm doing Bleach. When I was looking up things about it, I heard that the ending was not really great. So I will say that I'm sort of expecting that, but I think that knowing that before I actually get to the ending is going to temper my experience enough that if it is bad, if I do end up not liking it, it's not going to be a huge disappointment as much as it would be if I didn't know. And honestly, as long as the journey along the way is fun, I'm okay with it. So I'm not going to fully summarize Bleach or this arc. There's plenty of videos that do that really well and give a really detailed explanation of what happens in the arc. So I'll leave that to those videos. But my brief little summary is that this series is about 15-year-old Ichigo Kurosaki who can see spirits. And one day he meets Rukia Kuchiki, who is a soul reaper, which means she fights malevolent spirits called hollows. Rukia is injured during a fight with a hollow, and because of that, she lends her powers to Ichigo, who has to take over for her. But unfortunately, Rukia cannot take her powers back right away, so Ichigo becomes a de facto soul reaper. He now has to fight hollows. That's the basic premise of Bleach. So this video is going to be mostly spoiler filled, but my quick little spoiler-free pitch of the series to get you to read it is that if you can give this a few volumes to kind of get going, I swear Bleach will grab you and pull you in and not let you go. It's got really great characters who are easy to sympathize with. It's got loads of amazing, incredible action scenes, and the plot lines are very interesting, very intriguing. So far, I would recommend it. Okay, now into the meat of this video. I am loving Bleach. I think it's so good so far. I'm completely into it. I'm not really sure if I'm even going to have hardly anything negative to say in this video. We'll see, but you know, I doubt it. Each volume is going by so quickly to me. I'm flying through them. They just read so quickly, and I think a lot of that is due to the fact that a lot of them are filled with action sequences, which read a lot faster than the kind of slower dialogue heavy scenes. So it's very, very readable, which is great. The art style is really nice. I really don't have any complaints about it. The art is really clean. It's really consistent from panel to panel and volume to volume. I think the mangaka did a really good job of making the characters look unique so that I can tell them apart when I see them on the page. Because I have a hard time telling them apart by their names sometimes because I kind of forget their names from chapter to chapter, unless it's like one of the main characters. So the fact that they're all really distinct looking is really good. The action in the series is so clear. This series is probably the most action heavy manga that I've ever read, and I didn't know how that was going to go, if it was going to get boring, because sometimes with written novels, like completely written books, I think super action heavy stories can kind of get boring and just repetitive, and I don't know, they're not fun after a while. But here, the action is just done so well. Like I said, it's easy to follow. It's just really interesting from action scene to action scene. And some of the action-y kind of panels are so striking. Like, I've gasped a few times when I've turned the pages and I was just like, oh my God. This art. But anyways, on to the characters. We'll start with Ichigo. I really like him as a main character. I think I like him even more than some other shonen protagonists I've seen. Ichigo is very driven. He's very smart. He's very emotionally mature. He struggles, but he stays positive. That trait is really a commonality between a lot of shonen protagonists, and it's something I always really love to see. It makes it really easy to be on their side. And it's always like a nice character to follow because you know they're gonna just stay positive and not pull you down into their darkness. So I'm totally on board to follow him for the rest of the series. Okay, Chad. I really like Chad. After the second volume, I was like, oh my gosh, I like Chad so much. I like that he looks really big and tough and scary, but he's really just got a heart of gold. He's quiet, he's reflective, and he'll do anything to help his friends. I just love him so much. I would want him to be my friend. Also, the armor that kind of appears mysteriously on him, I'm super intrigued by that. I want to know more about it. Why? Who? What? Where? When? Tell me more. Okay, Orihime. I really like Orihime too. She's so kind, nice. She reminds me a lot of Toru from Fruits Basket, the main character in Fruits Basket. They kind of have like the same personality. They're very selfless, very kind, like I said. They put others before themselves. I love Orihime. She's very sweet. She also has an emerging power, which I'm very interested in. These little sprite creatures that are helping her and appearing. I'm very intrigued by them. I want to know more. Again, just like with Chad, who, what, where, when, why, how. Okay, Rukia. I like Rukia too. I'm gonna say I like all the characters. I just do. I can't help it. They're all great. I can already tell with her that there's a lot more under the surface that we're not seeing, and I'm very interested by that, and I want to learn more about her too, more about her past and her background. So I'm excited about the possibility of getting into more of her backstory. I love her. I love how tough she is. Okay, Urahara, I think might be the character that I'm most intrigued by so far. He's so mysterious. He's got a lot going on that I really want to know more about. His little gaggle of employees he has, his little children and that one guy. Who are they? Why do they work for him? Where did he get them? Where did he find them? I must know. Also, he seems to know a lot about Soul Society business and like the little otherworldly gadgets and stuff that he has. I need to know why and how. You can tell I have so many questions. I think that's a great thing. I'm really intrigued. I'm invested. I want to know more. I need to know his secrets. Okay, Uryu? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one correctly. Not watching the anime has kind of been a detriment because I don't know that I'm pronouncing all these correctly. So I think I got that one. I don't know. But anyways, he is kind of a little at this point. I don't love him. Like, he's interesting, and we've gotten some backstory for him, which has been interesting, but obviously I don't really like him because, like I just said, he's just being a little knob. As long as he sticks around, I can see liking him more, but we'll see. Jury's still out on him. And then the rest of Ichigo's friends I really like. They're so fun. They're so like dorky. They're so goofy. I love them. And then Ichigo's family, his dad and then his two sisters, Karen and Yuzu. I love them all. They're so sweet. They're such a nice family, you know, that yells at each other a lot, but I love them. And I love just how resilient they all are. You know, with Ichigo losing his mother, you know, they just seem to have a great bond. So onto the plot and the pacing. I will say it took me until at least the second volume to really see how Bleach could shine. And that was through the like little parakeet story in the second volume. That was so good. It really like got me, you know, I loved it. And then by the fourth volume, I was completely in. And that was the volume where the characters, the cast were going to the filming of a TV show of this like spirit hunter guy, Don Kanonji. And it's funny because that volume feels like almost completely filler. I mean, it's only the fourth volume. I think everything to that point is kind of filler, but you know, still it just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like kind of fluff. But at the same time, that volume really showed me the strengths of Bleach, I think. It just showed to me how masterfully the tone was going to and could shift between lightheartedness and seriousness, and at the same time not give me whiplash. And I could tell that I'm going to be able to follow the emotional threads of the story really well. So I was like, all right, I'm putting my trust in this series, so I'm in. It also showed me how even the most dispensable seeming characters are given just a lot of heart and characterization. The attention to detail was really good. For example, Don Kanonji. He seems on the outside to be an airheaded kind of narcissist, but then he tries to help Ichigo with the spirit that got loose, you know, during the taping. So you could really see his heroics shine through. And part of that was just that he's too overly cocky when facing spirits. But then he also went on to explain that a lot of people look up to him because of his show, you know, especially children. And he wants to show them how to be brave and heroic. And it was just so genuine. I was like, I love this. It showed me the ride I was about to take with the story, so I just strapped in. So some moments I really like so far. First of all, Chad and Rukia teaming up to fight a hollow in the second volume. I thought that was so fun. She just like hopped on his back and he can't see the hollow, but he can fight it and Rukia's too weak to fight it. So he's just like, okay, tell me where to punch, and she does. And it's just so fun. I loved it. And then during the contest between Uryu and Ichigo in the 5th and on volume through this arc, that was really nice as well. And just shifting between all the different character POVs and seeing what they were all up to when there's just a butt ton of hollows, throughout the city. It was really nice. I liked seeing how each character was dealing with them and fighting them. And that's where we got to see the emergence of some things, some powers. So it was very well done. I really like the emotional beats that this manga is hitting too. I think there's some really nice touching scenes in between all the action. So it's just a really good balance. And it's, that type of stuff that really gets you emotionally connected to the story. So it's all just really done very well. And then at the end of this arc, it started bridging to the next one, to the Soul Society arc. And it totally pulled me in because we saw the appearance of Renji and Byakuya. I think I'm pronouncing that one right. Again, I don't watch the anime, so I don't know. They come to take Rukia away. And I was like, oh, we're seeing the whole other side of this world now. I am very interested. It teased of more to come. They're sprinkling the little breadcrumbs of a bigger plot. It's very exciting. And then with the arrest of Rukia, it's a very good hook for continuing on. So now I'm on to the Soul Society arc, and yeah, I'm just really excited to keep going. I am so glad I picked up Bleach, and that's about all I have to say, I think, on this arc and Bleach so far. So if you read Bleach, let me know how you felt about it, and let me know if you had any strong feelings about this arc, the first arc, the Agent of the Shinigami, or the Substitute, or whatever people call it. Anyways, more to come on Bleach. Once I finish the Soul Society arc, I will probably do a video discussing that one as well, because I think I'm going to have a lot to say about that one, probably even more. I mean, I'm sure I'll have even more. Anyways, that's all. Read Bleach. Just do it. It's great. Until next time, just have a great day. Farewell.